with the hot weather that's approaching Britain and is in Britain at the moment, I thought I'd just do a quick reminder on how to use a fan. It sounds like an obvious thing. You switch the fan on, you stand in front of it. That's okay if you want to cool down yourself at that point in time. Trouble with that is you will actually, you could actually hurt yourself if you do that on too much of a basis. You must not just stand in front of the fan for more than a few minutes. You must not have a fan just pointed at you for more than a few minutes. Simple reason is this: you are sweating, which is because it's hot, and the fan is making the moisture evaporate, which means you sweat more. If you're not careful, if you fall asleep or something like that, you could end up dehydrating and being very ill. Also, do not just point it at your child who's in a carry cot or something for the same reason. This is one of the things that people do wrong, and it's not fatal, but it can make you very not well, or even unwell, or even quite ill. It depends how long and how much you do it. So, genuinely, please don't do that. And also, understand what a fan does. A fan merely moves the air around. Now, if you think about it, if somebody fans you, it feels cool, or if you point a fan at yourself, it feels cool. Why is that? It's because the fan is making you evaporate the sweat. You can do the same thing by licking your hand and then blowing it. You'll find it gets very cool where your hand, you can feel it's cold, but it's also cooler where you're blowing. Now that is quite simple, and it's pure physics, but it means that you haven't actually cooled anything down. You've just made yourself feel cooler. The room is taking up the heat, so you don't get any benefit from that point. The only way you can get a room to cool down is with either an air conditioner or one of these water-based room coolers, air coolers. Despite what they say on some listings, these are not the same. A portable air conditioner, proper unit, about 350 quid, blows hot air out the back, which you shove out the window with a pipe, and cold air out the front, whereas the room cooler with evaporative type, all it does is blow out air that's slightly cooler than it was before, but it does lead water, and it increases the humidity, so it's not so good. It costs a lot less to run, but it doesn't actually cool the room down very well. Here you can see it listed on Amazon, and you can see that the room cooler has got a lot going for it, but it's only 34 quid, so you've got to take the details with a pinch of salt. But the actual air conditioner is 300 odd, so that's good. If you don't have the money to go out and buy an air conditioner, you can always use a fan and get some good results from it, or an air cooler. You just have to know how to do it. If you use an air cooler, keep the window open to stop the humidity building up too high. Used as it's shown here, it makes the room far more comfortable. You can stir the air up, which will make you feel more comfortable, but it will not actually cool the room down. When you turn the fan off, it's still as warm as it was when you turned it on originally, so don't make that mistake. However, if the temperature outside is cooler than inside, like of an evening in the UK, you can put a fan in, say, an open window space, and you can either suck the air from outside and blow it into the room, or you can point the fan out of the room to the outside, which will obviously cause the hot air to be sucked out, and the cool air will be then able to get into the room. This is ways of making the fan work for you. If, on the other hand, you just want to have moving air, which will make you feel cooler, but remember it's not cooling down the room, then just point the fan in the general direction, have it on oscillate. By having it on oscillate, it means you don't end up with the blasting all the time. The other thing to remember is when you're in a room that's being cooled by fans, you must make sure you have enough liquid. If you don't, you will become unwell, because you will be sweating and evaporating and you will dehydrate. So if you start getting a muzzy head, go and have yourself a drink. Possibly not a stone cold drink, but have yourself a drink. Not alcohol, because that will make things worse. I use a 90-minute timer, which still works for me, but if I start feeling a bit woozy, I'll go and have a drink before the timer runs out. It's things you need to know, it's things that have been discovered, and it's just put in one place. Fans are a good idea, they don't cost much to run, so do use them, don't be scared of them, they only cost pennies to run, but don't think they're going to do what they're not going to do. There is no such thing as a fan that does cooling. There's only air coolers, and they only work in relatively low humidity. Other than that, they just become a fan. In fact, if you're in a warm and stuffy room and you put on an air cooler, which is the one that you pour the water into, you will end up with a more stuffy room, and it won't give you anything other than the fact it's stirring the air up. So just be aware, be safe, don't do anything silly, and try and make sure you keep yourself, even if you don't think you need a drink, make sure you have a drink regularly, just so that you don't get unwell. Stay safe, catch you another time. Bye.
When the heat's relentless, staying hydrated isn't just smart, it's survival. So drink plenty, even if it means a few more trips to the loo. It's a small price to pay to keep your body cool and your mind clear. And don't forget, check in on your neighbours, especially those who might struggle in this kind of heat. We're not used to these scorching days in the UK, but a little care and common sense can go a long way. Stay cool, stay kind, and keep those drinks coming.